Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I've got a new layout for the Hip Kit Club to share today, and I'm using the 2019 April kits again. And I'm going to start with this beautiful Paige Evans Horizon Sunburst paper and this old school Martha Stewart border punch. I'm sure a lot of you probably have it. I've had it for so long. And I'm going to scrapbook this little photo strip of black and white pictures of my daughter. I just went with black and white because I wanted to use all these colors, and I just wanted to use a punch. I haven't used a border punch in a while, and I haven't used this one especially. It's that little loop-de-loop one, and I can't remember the exact name of it, if they even have names, but I thought about doing a monochromatic color scheme with just the blues or just the pinks, but this paper just screams rainbow, so I'm going to sort of cut up all the strips and kind of make a punched loop-de-loop strip from each color and create something with it. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to arrange them or what I'm going to do with them. I just went to punching and it felt good to use this punch. I actually also have the one that you can punch the corners with to match this, so if you made a border out of it, you could punch the ends of it. Yeah, I collected all those border punches and end corner punches back in the day. I think every time I bought one from Michael's, I used my 40% off coupon, so I collected most of them. So anyway, I've got all the strips. I love how that looks. So I'm going to sort of do something with them on this white background. I went with the white background since I've got all those colors going on. And I am going to use the color kit and lots of other things from previous color kits today. So everything I'm going to use on the background has been in a Hip Kit Club color kit at some point in the last year or so. A lot of these are shimmers. I am going to use some of the Lindy's magical powders that we got this month. So what I thought I would do is just sort of go with some of the colors that are in those papers and just add some color to the background. I'm going to go with the main colors, the pinks, the blues, the yellows, and just kind of put some color on the background. I did add clear gesso there. That's what I did first, and I let that dry, and that just kind of prepared the cardstock for all this liquid and water that I'm going to be adding to it. And then I'm using the packaging. I'm spraying directly onto the paper, adding more water, and just kind of making a big watercolory splotchy mess here. Not trying for perfection, definitely at all. I've got some pink there. I think that's Sweetheart. I mixed in some of the Frostbite and some of the Deep Blue Sea. And then a while back, that green color that I just sprayed is called Hermit the Frog. And we got that, I don't even remember what month that was. I'm adding in some of the mustard seed. These are all from past kits, and those so far that I've used are all from shimmers. Now this here we got this month, so this is in the newest kit. It's those Lindy's magical powders, and I just scooped a little bit of it out, tossed it on the paper, added some water, and then used my brush to kind of smudge it around, because when you add water to those colored powders, it activates and basically turns into watercolor. So I wanted a little bit of orange down there at the bottom, and so that's a peachy orangey color. And I'm just kind of letting it run and blend, and I love how that's looking so far. So what I do a lot of times when I make my backgrounds like this is I just go for it and make the background like I'm doing here, let it dry, and then I put everything back on top of it like I'm doing here. And now you can see that you can't even really see any of the pink. So what do I have to do? I have to take everything back off and add some more pink and add some more orange, because I wasn't sure if I was going to space out all of those paper strips so you could see the background in between it, or if I'm going to like squeeze them together tightly so you can't see. I wasn't sure. So I just kind of went for it. And this background seems like a lot, but when I add everything back on top of it, a lot of it disappears. And so it's just kind of a back and forth thing where you make some of the background and then you put everything back on top of it and see how it looks, and you may have enough or you may need to go back and add some more, and it's just fun to kind of play around and go for it. I'm going to add some more of the orange and just make the splotches a little bit bigger. I'm going to bring the orange down a little bit more, and then I took the pink over more toward the edge over on the right. And then you're going to be able to see the green and the yellow and the blue on the other side of the photo strip. And so you're still going to be able to see these colors. It's just I have to make the areas a little bit bigger. So everything's kind of dry here. You can see the different finishes with the shimmer. The powder dries really, really shimmery. And of course the shimmers, all the shimmers that I used have shimmer in them. Not all shimmers have shimmer. Some of the shimmers have no shimmer. Okay, that sounds like a tongue twister, but anyway, everything I use today has a shimmer. So I decided to do a rainbow order, kind of the strips, kind of going from shorter to longer and then back to shorter again. So I'm going to start by gluing them down one at a time over here with the light pink. I'm going to use my ruler and make sure it's kind of as straight as I can make it. And then I'm going to go to my sewing machine and stitch along the edge. And I'm going to do that for each strip, changing the thread for each color. Yes, I know that's time consuming. You can kind of see there I did the light pink, and now I'm going to come back and glue down the next color, which will be the next shades of pink. And so then I'm going to go back to my sewing machine with the darker pink and do the same thing. And you're not going to be able to see a lot of the thread straight on, but you're going to be able to see it on the edges, and if you look closely you can see it in between each layer. And I mainly just did it to have some extra texture and dimension, and you can, that's as far as my sewing machine will reach underneath where my camera is. I have it plugged in under my desk, but I store it over on, you can't see it, but the right side of my room in a little cubby on the floor, or not on the floor, but the lowest cubby closest to the floor, because that's where the cord is. It's hard to explain, but I can't keep my sewing machine on my desk or I'll trip over the cord, so I just bring it over when I can, and it's hard to see because it's right there on the side, but you can kind of see what I'm doing there. I'm gluing down the strips, sewing through them, changing out the colors, because of course you know me and my thread addiction. I have all of these colors, but there it's all done, and you can kind of see now what I did there. I love that. You can kind of see the thread where I sewed at the top and the bottom, and then when you turn it to the side, look at this cool texture. I love that. So cool. And I love this loop-de-loop shape. Why don't I use this more? I love using my punches. I'm really trying to make an effort to use things that I haven't used. I bought all these tools, you know, years and years ago, and I just don't use them enough. And so, yeah, it was fun to pull something old school back onto this layout. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on everything else. Now you can definitely see all the mixed media on the background, and I love how that looks. I did add a little bit more yellow above, over on the behind the strips on the right hand side. So I pulled out a lot of the embellishments here. I've got some of the pocket life cards. I've got a lot of the horizon pieces there. I do a lot of fussy cutting. I'm going to cut out the pocket life cards here that I've got. I've got that rainbow colored one that I tore. I used the rest of that on a previous layout. I fussy cut out that little globe that says "You Are My World." I fussy cut this flower and this little flower cluster from more pocket life cards, and I'm going to use those as embellishments. And I'm not going to do a tone on tone here. I'm going to spread the colors everywhere. I want to use this little piece here, and I'm going to tear it apart. I hope this doesn't offend anyone. I know when I start to dismember embellishments like that, some people freak out, but I'm not a big, I don't know, whenever there's an embellishment where there's like a ribbon or a like first place type ribbon, I don't know, I just never have the need to use that, so I just tore the top part off. That's the only part that I really wanted to use. So don't be afraid to tear things up if you only want to. Oh, there's an extra little hand there. Paige was visiting me. Don't be afraid to tear up your embellishments if you only want to use a piece of it. Feel free to make it work for how you want it to work. And that's what I did. And now I just have that little orange circle with the little label going across the top of it that says "Best Day Ever." And that is exactly how I wanted it to look. So I'm just tucking in some things. I'm using some of the exclusive puffy stickers. A lot of this is from Horizon. I've got a chipboard sticker, a die cut, like I said, this little globe piece, I'm going to stick that right there on top of the photos, because if you look at these photos, I have a lot of open space on some of them. So I'm going to overlap those two pieces right on top of the photos there. And that's just some adhesive foam that I added to the back to raise the photos up a little bit off of the page. Make sure that's straight. And then all the embellishments are going to be over around the photos. I don't want to add anything on top of the punched strips because it's busy enough as it is, and it's got so much texture and interest going on. Anything that I added on top of that would look way too messy and too busy, I think. So I'm just going to concentrate over here on the left at this point. These little flowers, those are from Horizon. And I'm just going to cut that one flower in half there because I'm only going to see half of it sticking out. And then, so if you see here, I've got all the colors represented over on the left. I've got the pink, the dark blue, the yellow, some orange, some red. Now I'm going to add in some darker blue with thread. And I'm going to do that right in between, kind of in the middle of the flowers there. And then I've got more of the green with that little puffy sticker that says Weekend up at the top. That's from the exclusive puffy sticker sheet. And I've been wanting to use that weekend sticker. And so this layout was perfect because we're always in the pool on the weekends. And I've got a ton of photos from this one little photo shoot that I did of her. And I can always go back and print these in color and scrap them again. And it would have a totally different look. But, yeah, I wanted to print these in black and white, so I'm just going to add that little weekend sticker up at the top, and then the little yellow sticker to the right of that is from the Horizon sticker sheet and says Sunshine. Now here's another example of tearing things up. Yep, I'm going to tear these flowers off of this pre-made Horizon tag. You don't have to use it as is. You can tear it up. It's okay. No one is going to call the scrapbooking police on you if you tear something up. And look, I just hacked the top of that off. I'm going to tuck it underneath the photos. Voila, done. Love how that looks. Yeah, I did a lot of dismembering of pre-made embellishments on this layout. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. So don't be afraid to do it. So here's where I did change my mind. I'm not adding things on top of the strips. I'm adding things to the side and kind of tucking it under that first row of the light pink strip to create that little cluster over there. I just felt like I needed something to break up the pink because there was a lot of pink in that area. So that's why I added the little fussy cut flowers and then some of the blue ones, a little orange fun sticker, and then some yellow thread. So I tried to pull in a lot of those colors over on that side of the page as well. I'm adding a green heart sticker, some of those little, the pack that we got of those acetate exclusive alphas, there were little tiny hearts in there, and so I used a couple of those. And then my title is just going to be simple, One Happy Girl. I cut the outside border of that happy sticker that came from Horizon, and then these are the exclusive navy alpha puffy stickers. So I just went simple, One Happy Girl, because I had Weekend Sunshine up at the top, and then I had the globe with words on it. So I didn't want to add a big giant title, because really where would it go? So I just went short and sweet and simple. And then I'm going to kind of work my journaling around the title. I did add glue behind those puffy stickers because nothing ever wants to stick, you know, to gesso. But anyway, I'm going to add the journaling. And that's it. That's the final layout. I love how this turned out. I'm so glad I decided to use my punch. I think the texture on this is off the charts. It was so much fun. And it was easy to do. Just punch, 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 and stick it together. Add some flowers. Add some thread. Okay, yeah, I know I'm rambling. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was fun to make. I love all these colors. I cannot get sick of rainbows. I mean, who doesn't love all those colors, right? Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I just saw where the May kits are going to be shipping any day now, so be on the lookout for those. I cannot wait to get my May kits. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for stopping in, and I will see you in my next video.